think this situation came in a perfect moment for me because I really needed to stop since a long time ago. And I was just keep traveling and traveling and traveling and just adding more and more contracts to my life. So basically, I was working every weekend, bro, every single weekend, nonstop. And I was thinking that I needed. Yeah, I didn't organize my life in a good way. So my health wasn't really good at that time. I started having problems with my stomach, with my blood pressure, with my with basically all my body. So once you have problems with the stomach, all your body, like chronic problems, all your body start having problems too. Like start developing like different kind of problems. And when everything started, I just had to be in home with my girlfriend, and in my relationship was amazing. This situation in my relationship was the best thing ever happened. And and then about work, thanks to her is because we are online. Thanks to her is because we're teaching online, because she's all the marketing, she's all the ideas, organization, administration. I just put the administration about the classes and all the content, but all the design, basically the whole design of the school, of the virtual school, is thanks to her.
It's well made. It's very well made.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I like also the marketing is straight to the point. You know, it's really well made. And I wanted to know. I remember when we saw each other in Montreal. That goes way back. I remember you were starting to hustle to get those contracts. I remember even you told me during a class, "Hey, Elias, I got to get this call. This is an important call," and you were booking contracts. So that's the lifestyle you wanted, right? So it was really in your core to want these things. At what point it became difficult?
Yeah. So it became difficult. And the point that I was just non-stopping, that I was making these kind of crazy trips. Like imagine, this was my life. I was departing from Malaga, Spain, when I was living in Malaga, Spain already. That was it. That was the worst and the best point of my life. The best point of my life because I was already in the top, and I was living my dream for real. My dream and my goal. So my dream, if we talk about Rodrigo, what were your dreams when you in 2005? What were your dreams in 2004? Well, my dream was to be in the top, to be one of the best dancers of the world. My goals was to be one of the best dancers of Mexico at that time. And then in 2019 or 18, I think so, when I finally moved to Spain and I started dancing with Bercy, like I was living it. Like I was already in the top in the best couples of the world. And it was great. It was amazing. We were closing all the events, like every weekend we were closing, or we were the second last. And it was like, Rodrigo Bercy to everywhere, Rodrigo Bercy and everywhere. Oh my God, Rodrigo, you're amazing. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. You guys rock. And last time we went to Montreal, we went to perform together. And I remember Corinne came to me and she was like, oh my God, you guys looks amazing. And you know, the perspective of Corinne. I don't want to sound racist, but when we talk with Afro-American people living in everywhere, or not just Afro-American, African roots, those people have something in the blood. They just have the rhythm, bro. They just have the drums in their blood. They have flow for almost everything. So that's why when every time that I hear something like this coming from African or a people that has African roots in their blood, on their genetic, for me it's like, oh my God, thank you. It's an honor, right? Because, and I'm telling you this from the perspective of my first trip to Africa, because when I went to Ghana, I was like, what's wrong with these people? what? They are amazing. Yeah, they made me feel like totally less than beginner, bro. So when I heard her perspective about how she sees us, for me it was like really good. Like, oh, great, we're doing great.
It's like a stamp of approval.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
what was your training like? Like how when you were the last year where you reached that kind of top game in the salsa world? How did you train? What was your regiment?
Well, it depends of which decade or which
Let,
year or
let's
which
talk
part of
about,
my
let's
life.
say, with Bercy, the last
Oh no, bro!
2019.
With Mercy, I think it was the laziest time of my life. I'll tell you why. Because to get to that point, I had to take a lot of classes before. Like the years
Mm,
before, I was training, I was taking a lot of classes. Like I was working to be there. And
mm,
once I was there, then it was easier because even we were practicing, I think, once per week,
mm,
sometimes once every 2 weeks, bro.
mm.
Sometimes we were practicing in the events.
Wow.
And to create a new choreo, for example, the choreo the last one that we made, no, the second last one that we made, Guarare, we made that one in 1 month, but not training every day. No, like training 2 days in 1 week, and then next week traveling. Then the week after we were practicing 1 or 2 days like that. So it was very chilling, bro.
What was
It was
but to reach to that point, let's say, did you have, let's say, if we move back 5 years and you trained, you say you took many classes, what did you have a specific plan to what classes you wanted to take or with whom you wanted to train?
Well, when I moved to Chicago, that was 2007, before to move to Montreal, Canada. I was
I
very
like how you say Chicago.
Why? How it sounds,
I don't
bro.
know. It's I love your,
Chicago.
not Chicago, you know, it's like the accent is nice. You know, I remember
Like,
just a little parenthesis. I remember when you were giving us a classes and you said rond de jambe. And my wife turned around and said, "Oh, you mean rond de jambe?" And you turned around and you looked at her and you said, "How did you say this?" He goes, "Yeah, rond de jambe. It's a French term." And you said, "They were lying to us all these years. They called it
it's
rond de
true.
jambe."
No, wait. It was rondeyam.
Rond de
Like
jambe.
that. Yeah, like that. Like that. I remember. How you remember that, bro?
It was the funniest thing. I've been telling this anecdote for years. It was so funny the way it happened. It was lovely. I love accents anyway. So let's go back to Chicago.
Yeah, to Chicago, bro. I remember that because in Mexico, it's true. They always say rondeyam, rondeyam, right? Like that, rondeyam. Oh no, wait, no. It's just like this, rondeyam, like that. They don't even do a lot of accent in the R.
My
It's
God.
not a rrr. It's rondeyam. But then
Rondeyam.
when your wife say like, "Oh, you mean rondeyam?" And I was like, "Whoa." And the sound, I was like, "Damn, it sounds so beautiful, bro." Since that time, listen, oh my God, this is epic.
I know.
Because since that time, we're talking about 2010, I think so.
Something like that. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So since that time, in every Congress, I have to say, now here we're gonna do rondeyam. I swear to God. Bro, and when
that was my contribution to your success. This is how I see it. This is how I see it. I'll take it.
But I forgot about where this thing from.
It came from the studio in the west part of Montreal, where you came with your partner and you gave us a class and we had such a good time, man. Such a good time.
Oh, yeah, I remember, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, I always love your sense of humor and I love your company and I love your energy, bro. Awesome. It was such a great class. But
so let's go back to Chicago.
Well,
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to Chicago later. Yeah. But imagine me going to Paris and saying that, bro. Okay, now here we're gonna do rondeyam, and they were watching me like this. Paris, bro. Paris. Of course. Oh, it's like going to Mexico and try to, I mean, you are a guy from German and you're trying to sing mariachis, bro. Like that. And I have nothing against Germany, bro. I swear to God. But it's just like two different cultures, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
So I moved to Chicago and I was very into ballroom. And then I moved to Montreal right away. Look, I was living in Chicago for 4 months. And then when I moved to Montreal, Canada, I was even more into ballroom. And I was taking classes with Mike Mixner.
I remember
Yeah, I was
him.
taking ballroom classes with him, and oh my god, it was a great classes.
He's a
Great,
very
great
good
classes.
teacher.
Yeah, and he was a great dancer and great teacher. I love my classes with him. And then, and I was very into also this kind of, it was two different styles of my life at that time. It was like Adolfo Indacochea and Eddie Torres style, because I was a huge fan of Adolfo. I'm still a huge fan of Adolfo Indacochea. And the other side, it was these kind of people that were very into the Latin jazz in salsa, like Sekou McMiller, Leon Rose, Shaka Brown, Gordon Neal, all the influence that they were adding to salsa. It was like a lot of Latin jazz, right?
Yeah.
So I was very into those two tendencies, and at the same time, I was swimming a lot. I was swimming like crazy, like a physical training to have a better resistance, and I was doing like kind of exercise more for resistance and to be thin, and also to be more fun. And I did it. I did it. My instructor, my physical instructor, was like that at that time when I was dancing with Como Mango, when I was performing with Cristina Zavala. Yeah, yeah. And
So
then
how did you break down your how many hours did you allocate for each activity in a week? Just give me an example so people have an idea what it takes.
well, basically per day I was dancing 6 hours per day.
Wow.
And I was working out at 1 hour per day in my home. I used to have a machine called Total Gym, and it's like a bed in this inclination in this position, and then you just lay down facing down and you just pull up. You just do this, right? But it's with your own weight, and in this position. So you don't create a lot of muscle in your back. It's just like necessary. And it's a lot of repetition. And I had a really, really good instructor for that. So I was doing 1 hour there and 1 hour in the swimming pool every day.
That's awesome.
And dancing like 4 hours per day.
Wow. And at that time, any injuries, any setbacks, or you were
going? One.
What happened?
Yeah, and it's still with me. Yeah, it's like it's like an injury that wake up sometimes, and you're like, "Hey, bro, you forget about me? I'm here." I hate that guy.
What
bro.
happened?
Really
what happened? What happened?
In my lower back. Lower back. I think because I born with my spinal like this, like an S. And doctors were telling me, no, your son is gonna have a lot of problems. I mean, they were telling to my mom, your son is gonna have a lot of problems, and he should swim. And I start swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming, and the problems and that problem in my spinal, it got better. But I remember that I was in Montreal and I was practicing in Como Mango studio. At that time, it was over the gym. It wasn't the big studio that Victor got. Do you remember that studio?
I don't think I went there. It
was the studio in St. Catherine.
Yeah, that I saw in videos. Yes, my friend.
No, this one was, I don't remember. But it was over the studio. Over the gym, sorry. It was over the gym. And I was practicing and I was dancing a lot next to the window. And, it was kind of winter, and the cold wind from the windows in Montreal are the worst.
I have to say that we have something, in contrast of the last Instagram video I saw you posted with in the water, talking about your classes with your girlfriend while we suffer in Montreal. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep it civil. I'm trying. So let's talk about like the situation you're going through now. You said it was actually ideal. What did you find ideal about it? Because when I had to stop, I kind of was frustrated for many months until I snapped out of it. Like literally woke up and said, okay, I have to start doing some things online. I have to start some project, and I start working on different things. But I was upset, like hard. How about you? You kind of saw the positive right away?
I was happy, bro. Honestly, for me.
Wow.
For me.
Yeah.
For me, I was happy for me. Of course, I wasn't happy for what was happening, because first, I lost all my jobs. all my contracts, for 1 year. This is the way that I was having contracts. Every 6 months, like imagine it was January already, and the rest of the year was already packed, full of events till next January, right? But after that next January, it was empty. So while we were traveling and living the rest of the month, the rest of the next year, it was getting packed again. So nonstop, bro, nonstop. Like I never saw the ending until COVID. Wow. So in one side, I was really, really worried. Like, what am I going to do, right? And then I was thinking, okay, let's be positive. There's going to be maybe this is going to last for 1 month or 2 months, or maybe 3 months, and then I'm going to have my events again. But then my girlfriend and I, especially my girlfriend, she started watching a lot of TED Talks when many analytics were talking about the situation, especially the one with Bill Gates. And he was saying, like many others, they were saying this is going to last at least for 4 years. So the people that's going to survive is the creative people and also the people that adapt to many situations very fast. And I was like, damn, so let's do it. And we start being creative and also to adapt to the new situation. But the thing is, like, once we adapt to the new situation in the first 2 months of the quarantine, then the situation changed even in social media. And we were like, damn. And then we had to readapt ourselves in another 2 months of this situation. And then after those 2 months, the situation changed again in social media. What I'm talking about what people like to see in social media, what people like to buy in social media. Their tastes were changing and again, like very fast. We were like, what the hell is going to happen now? So we just learned a way to readapt many times to ourselves, to many situations.
Do you when you give your classes, do you find again the feeling you have when you give big workshops or stuff like that, when you go to congresses? Can you find that kind of feeling? Do you generate it from inside? Because you don't have the reaction or the kind of...
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I do, bro.
I do.
You just have a few days in the classes, bro. But once you have like 1 month, you can feel that you are in a school, in a virtual school, in a virtual academy. Because since the first month, we have few students that stay with us in the first month, and when you see the progress of them, it's like it feels really good. It's very grateful. And then after every class, or even during the class, every time that I'm asking, how do you feel? How do you like it? They are like this, like some of them turn on the microphones and they're like, oh my God, we love it. I love it, Rodrigo. I love it. Especially Spanish people, you know how they are. Yeah, like Latin. I mean, Latin people, because I don't have any students from Spain. It's crazy, right? I've been living in Spain for many years. They know me, but I don't have any student from Spain. Anyone. We'll talk about that later.
How about like the, what is your, from what country basically you have the most following?
Latin America. Yeah, it's hard to say that.
Why?
I mean,
why?
I don't know, bro. We have been asking to ourselves the same questions, and we have been experimenting in many different ways to get more people from different countries, especially from here, from Europe. And I don't know. I can think that maybe situation about COVID in Latin America, it doesn't feel as hard as people feel it here in Europe, maybe for two reasons. First one is because the rules and the situation about COVID here in Europe is worse than in Latin America. And second, Latin American people don't give a shit about anything, bro. We're just like that. That's true, bro. I'm Mexican. And I see my Mexican people every day in social media doing parties, doing social, underground, of course, doing socials, making congresses. And I'm like, what's happening there? It's not the same. And then they say like, I know Mexico City is the worst place, but in the rest of the country is fine. And then I talked to my father who's living in Veracruz, like, no, situation here is really bad. And then I talked to my brothers, no, situation here is really bad too. And I'm like, so that's the point. Latin American people don't give a shit. And that's what my father and what my brother tell me every day. Like, yeah, we're in the same situation. Everything is like very, very hard here, but we fucking Mexican people don't give a shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
And I think it's the same in many other countries from Latin America. And that's why we have a lot of people from Latin America. Bro.
But it doesn't, but I mean, they don't give a shit, but at the same time, it's a solo thing in front of a camera. So why would it matter? Like that they like it's a thing that you do in your house. Technically, yes, it should. If you're confined even harder, don't you think it would push people to go towards that service? That I don't get. Like there's a part that.
Yeah, the thing is like there's many people. That's why we don't have. How can I tell you this? Okay, I'm gonna start from this part.
Okay.
Like all of them, there's no schools open. Or there's just a few schools open, right? Or there wasn't any school open at that time when we started classes. Then there wasn't any other option, and they were like, okay, let's try to adapt ourselves to this situation, and let's try the class. That was the first idea for them, and they tried. They saw the progress even online, even in front of the camera. They love it, bro. I have many students like we were preparing a video. The video of them before and now, you will see the huge difference because the way that they were dancing before and the way that they are dancing now, it's amazing. Amazing. Every time that I see them, and I'm very picky about that. I'm very, very picky with my students. I'm such a bitch with my students. When they send me videos and when somebody out of our school send me videos like, what do you think about this? I'm like, it's good. It's fine. You just need to go because I'm trying to be honest too. And like, it's good, but you have to do this and this and this. But when I see something that I really love, I post it right away. Like, oh my God, this is amazing, bro! Congratulations, you rock. You look really good. Your progress. I write all the stuff in a post. So this is something that is happening with the students. So once they see them, they feel the progress in their self. It's like, oh my God, it works. So I'm gonna keep going with this, and then. What we try to do also is like we try to make them feel as much as possible as a present class, not just like they are front of the camera. We pay attention to them. We always talk to them. That's why we have the screen over there.
That's cool. Nice setup, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. That's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend.
Here we go. That's awesome.
She's amazing. I'm such a lucky guy, bro.
Here we go. You said it. We have recorded this.
I know. I said in every interview. So that's why she's not here with me anymore because she's always crying. Every time that I'm like that, she's very emotional and she's like.
But what's her name? So I don't make a mistake. What's her name?
Anastasia. Oh,
Anastasia.
She's here.
There we go.
Anastasia. Yeah.
And what nationality?
I know you can hear me.
What nationality?
She's Russian.
Russian. Awesome.
Russian. Mm-hmm. She's Russian from St. Petersburg, but she grew up in Narva, Estonia.
How'd you guys meet?
In Lithuania.
In a congress or no?
In a congress, yeah. She was assisting me because I went there by myself, and she was assisting me in the partner class. The promoter is a Mexican guy, Asael, that I sent him a big hug because thanks to him we are together because he introduced us. And I remember that I was talking to him by Messenger, and he sent me we were talking about money, right? About the money for the event. My payment and everything. And he sent the picture. I was very serious, and he sent the picture of Anastasia. He sent her picture. Oh, this is the person that is going to assist you in the workshop. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I went to her profile, bro, to Instagram, to Facebook, and I was basically stalking her. And I was watching all her pictures, videos, everything. And I was like, oh my God, who the hell is this girl? And I was like, no, be professional. How to be professional? You don't want to be like that, like many salseros that they just want to eat in the congresses. So then I met her and I saw her show. in Facebook. I saw her show and I love it.
Solo?
It was a really good
Solo,
show.
duo?
No, it was three girls.
Three girls.
Three
Okay.
girls. I saw it and I was like, wow, this is a really, really good show because it was like many things together. It was a beautiful mix with a bachata song. And also the bachata wasn't like pure bachata. It was also kind of mixed. And I love it. And I love when I see people doing that. Now imagine me watching a beautiful girl doing this kind of choreo, like creating this kind of choreo, was like this has even more value. So when I met her, it was like hi, nice to meet you. Hi, but she always say like she was a huge fan of me, and she came to me like nervous. She was like, hi, I'm Asia. No, you say Anastasia, right?
I never say Anastasia.
Okay, she said, I'm Asia, nice to meet you. I'm the person that is going to see you. And the way that I saw her, it was like, oh, hi. She's kind of.
Be careful now.
I know. She's kind of something, right? Because she was a little bit silly and also a little bit like, I have to say it, Amor. I'm sorry. I have to say it. So for me, she was like, oh, hello, Anastasia. Right? Asia. Right?
So how
And
did you
I was
guys
like-
start to work together? Like what was the inception?
Wait. I go there.
Please.
I get there. Okay. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. I'm
No
going
worries.
straight to the point.
That's what we are here for.
Yeah. So then we were doing the class together, and I was explaining her everything about the technique that I use, and she was thinking like, oh my God, I'm totally wrong. This is totally opposite of what basically I know. So she followed me in the class in a great way. The way that she was doing the class was really, really good. I got impressed. I had a video, bro. And then every time that I see the video, I'm like, damn, you did a really, really good job in the class. And she was wearing a red dress, and she was looking. She looked so beautiful in that red dress. So, anyways, we were talking after that event, and then we were dating, and then she just moved to Spain. She just moved to Malaga.
And you were there already.
Yeah, I was living in Malaga, working with Versi, and I remember that after dating for 1 week, because I came back to Lithuania and we were dating for 1 week, like knowing each other. And then I was in the airport coming back to Malaga, and she was already on her place. And she said like, okay, so after this week, I really want something serious with you. And if you want me to move right away to Malaga, I'll do it. And I was like, oh, right away, bro, right away. And I was like, bro, my underwear fell down. And I was like,
awesome. That's awesome.
And I was like,
First, you mean to
what?
you invite
Oh, yes. I invite her first. Yeah,
Okay.
I invite her first.
Okay.
But I never thought that she would do it. And then when she said like, I'll move, I can move right away. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. And then she moved, and then we were traveling together. I was working with Versi at that time, and we were traveling together. At the same time, we were taking classes together. We both were taking classes together in the congresses. That was something that I really loved, because we were traveling. There was many great dancers teaching, and we were taking the workshops together. And it was like a really, really great energy for me. Like that feeling about to keep learning came back thanks to her.
Wow.
Yeah, and also she was. We were, because sometimes we were teaching together. I was sharing to her like all the information that I have, and that's it. And then after working and traveling a lot with Versi, there was a point when we were doing different stuff. When she was doing, or she wanted to do different stuff, and I wanted to do different stuff. And especially she wanted to keep traveling, because for her it was her moment. And for me, I was traveling already for 20 years. I was in congresses for 20 years. Like I was getting tired of that.
Wow.
And especially doing like now in that way, nonstop. So Versi was like this, and I was like,
it's such a
and I
grind.
was like going down.
It's such a grind. Some people, when they see the stars on stage, they're like, oh wow. And it's that kind of like this glory, right? There's like a mystique around any kind of star, right? But
yes,
in the hotel rooms every single weekend, at one point, everything becomes the same, right? And that's what.
Yeah, it is. It is. And also, And also Bercy wanted to be in parties all the time, and I was getting tired of parties. And also because I was in this relationship, Asia, she really make me be stable. She made me be in more in the thought that finally you find a person that can be the woman of your life, the mother of your children's, and the person that you can have a family with. Wow. A person that share with you everything, a person
That's awesome.
that even, because we were spending 24/7. We were together always, every time. And we never get bored. Even now, bro, we never get bored. Even in quarantine, how many couples broke up?
Many.
And our relationship became better for real. And
good for you. I'm happy for you. Really, really happy for you. Because that party life takes the toll, right? Party life is just a killer. Like I got out of partying and I was like, wow, it's the beginning of feeling good, because always being in a party, it takes a toll on the body also, those nights. And I can't even start to imagine being away every weekend somewhere. I just can't imagine. I think I'd go crazy way before you. Way before you. Did you learn any Russian?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bust some Russian with me.
Yeah.
I'm half Russian, right?
Get ready. Yeah, I know. Get ready.
So let's go.
Get ready.
Let's go.
Get ready.
Let's do it.
Спасибо. Пока.
Oh.
На здоровье.
Хорошо.
Smirnov. Baryshnikov. Bro, wait. I have a story.
All right, go. Let's continue. Come on, that's four. Come on.
No, listen. Wait, I have a story about this.
Go.
So, my mother-in-law is the best mother-in-law. It's just the mother-in-law, bro. She's the one. When I met her, the way that she does, because she's like a superhero about art in Narva and also in St. Petersburg. She's a very, very important person in art, right? So hold on, can you see me? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So when I met her, I was like, she is the one. And then one day she came to Malaga, and we were in Malaga, and she brought some gift for me, some present for me. And I was like, I'm going to impress my mother-in-law with my few Russian words that I know. So she gave it to me, and I was like, oh, пока.
Wrong word.
I know, and my mother-in-law was like this, like, and then she was like, because she's such a fun and funny person. She was like, oh, my cute son. And Asia was like, no, it's pasiva. So what the hell is paca? It's bye.
Yeah, exactly.
So all this time I was saying bye.
Get away from me. Thank you very much. That's so funny. All the languages are awesome.
I know. But I have to learn.
Okay, well, here's a lesson. You're going to say that. Is your girlfriend close?
No.
She can't hear you?
No.
Okay, damn. I would have told you to say something to her.
Wait. I think she can hear me. Yeah, she can hear me.
Okay, so Ты очень хорошо танцуешь.
Ты очень хорошо танцуешь. Why are you laughing? What's so funny about that? I'm funny. I'm a clown. I'm the clown in the house always, right? I'm the clown.
Here we go.
What that means?
I just said you dance very well.
You dance very well. Okay.
Maybe I have an accent too. My Russian is also getting rusty. So yeah. So let's just touch on your major influences. So during the class I took with you, by the way, my back muscles want to thank you. Just wanted to let you know my back muscles are very happy this morning. And this body motion thing that you've been working on for the past two classes I took with you, it's just started. I saw it. It was very strange because I saw it 10, maybe even 12 years ago. I was in New York and I was trying to grab classes here and there, and I didn't know who was what, right? So I knew Eddie Torres was the bomb, so I took classes with Eddie Torres. Then I knew that, what's it called? I forgot. Santo Rico, and all these dance troops were really hot. So I went to take classes from them. There was Yamuli. There was all. I tried to, and then I hear a couple of names. I knew I really like Frankie Martinez, so I took classes with him. And then I heard this name falling around like Franklin Diaz. So I was like, okay, I'll go in Franklin Diaz class. And I entered. I didn't know. I entered the most advanced class. So now take this Montreal dancer, 10 years of experience, thinks he's the shit, And I go into this class, no explanation. I barely danced on two. I just started to dance on two, and then the class ran. I did not understand nothing, but I saw, I went out of the class just traumatized. I was like, okay, there's something happening there. But I needed the basics of whatever he was doing, but whatever. I took something, but I remember seeing the image of him moving, and I saw that body motion there at some point in time, and I'm thinking, okay, you're doing it now. And you said it was from him, and also I want to get to Felipe Polanco that you mentioned, but I wanted to know what about this new way of moving the torso. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically from more of a center motion, less about the hips. What talks to you about that motion that you wanted to get, and what other things about Franklin Diaz you're inspired by? Okay, I don't know. I don't know if it's a general question but I just wanted to know, why did you go there? Like, why did you go that route?
Perfect. Okay. So, when we talk about Franklin Diaz, it's like the best reference about my dancing these days. He's like the biggest inspiration in my life about dance, or one of the biggest inspiration, because I have many inspirations. I have many idols, many superheroes. That's the way that I call them. Superheroes.
What about
but
him?
Franklin Diaz. Okay, first time that I saw him dancing, it was 2001. I saw a video of him dancing El Hueso, and it was a video from the Congress in LA from 2001. Remember that the dance floor was with a bunch of square black and white.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was dancing all in black, and the girl was dancing all in red.
It's a great performance.
That was the first time that I saw him dance. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I really would love to dance like this guy. And I saw that it was something about his body language. I didn't understand, but I right away make a reference with Broadway dancers, with musicals, with all that jazz, with Bob Fosse, with all these kind of dancers. And I was like, there's something about this body language. And then by the time I was learning about the history of Franklin Diaz, that he was taking classes first with Vitico, and Vitico is the first teacher of Juan Matos. And he's still teaching in Yamulet and studio. He's one of the, he's like basically old school from 80s and 90s. And after they brought Franklin Diaz to Eddie Torres, and he started dancing with Eddie Torres, and then he started dancing with Yesenia Peralta. Then he started dating Nelida Tirado, which is Eddie Torres Jr.'s mom. And at the same time, he was dancing flamenco, and he moved to Spain to learn flamenco for 3 years with the best dancers of flamenco, one of the best dancers of flamenco, which is Los Farruco. It's a family, it's a dynasty. And after that, he came back to New York, and he got like influenced by many other rhythms, many other dances, and especially Cuban dances at that time. And that's how he developed all this new body movement or this body language. And it was everything on his head. That guy is a genius. It's a genius, and he think and he see things as a genius, and he create as a genius. And also he has a little bit the attitude of a genius, it's like no, compadre, no, like that. Like he get mad very easy when he see people that they don't understand the body language. What happened with genius is like they live in one world that people don't understand them. So they really think and they believe that people don't understand them. And they think and they believe that what they do supposed to be easy for everybody.
Yeah,
and when they see like nobody do it, or everybody have problems with that, then they start getting mad and they start getting frustrated because they think that it's supposed to be easy, because it's easy for them. It's supposed to be easy for everybody. That's how genius think, right? So then when I meet this guy, finally, because I was following him on the internet. And I met this guy when I was in New York, 2013, I think, no, 2010. And I went to take his class, like you, bro. But now imagine, I knew who he was. And he was my idol already. So I was in the house of my friend, and then he said, like, hey, bro, I'm going to take class with Franklin Miguel. You want to come? And I was like, yes. And then I was in the metro, and they were talking to me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to meet him. Oh my God, I'm going to see him. This is going to happen. No way. I'm not going to pee. And then I went to the place, to the classroom, and I get into the classroom, and he was there, and I was like, oh my God, he's there. Okay, control yourself. You're not going to pee. And then I went to the back and to the corner, right? And everybody, all the advanced students were in the front, and the front. And then he started doing this body moving like, I'm talking about 2010, when he was developing this technique. When he was no one yet in the salsa community, or he was somebody that exists before and he disappeared. And when he was trying to come back, he was tricking, or people were treating him like a crazy guy, like a non-professional dancer. Nobody was believing in him anymore because so many things that he did in the past, right? But I saw him when he was starting developing this technique, and I was like, and he was like, move, compadre, move, muévete, compadre, muévete. And I was like, I'm doing it. I swear to God that I'm trying, but I just don't look like you, bro. And also something that is true, like he has an amazing flexibility in his own body. He's like a super flexible guy. And that's why the way that he looks, it's so hard to make that happen in ourselves. It's so hard for us to look like him. And then I started bringing him to LA. When I was living in LA, I brought him 3 times to teach there to the school that I used to have. And I was taking classes with him. And then one day I got the opportunity to perform with him. I did it one in Mexico City. It was fun. And then second time we did it together in Croatia. Never again. He made me feel like a worse than beginner in the stage. I'm talking about 2013 or 2014 already, when I did this show with him. And I was already kind of Rodrigo Cortazar in the whole world. And I was performing next to him, and he made me feel like beginner. It was like a pro, like a pro guy performing with amateur guy, like that.
How did you make you feel a beginner? In his attitude or technique, or how did it happen?
Everything, bro. Yeah, I was next to him and I was watching him dancing at the same time that I was performing. And I was like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, yeah, it was crazy. But I don't know if I'm supposed to perform or I'm supposed to be audience.
Yeah.
Next to him on the stage. And then I came back to the backstage and he was like, hey, buena, compadre, buena. Good job. And I was like, no, listen, bro. I'm not going to perform with you anymore. No. Unless you think or you really believe that I'm ready to perform next to you. But no, again, no, you are too much. You're too much. I knew where was my place. And I say, like, I have to get the technique of this guy. And I was training. I was studying his videos too. And even now in quarantine, I was taking classes with him. And I wasn't taking class with him in a few months, but I have to. That's something that I have to do these days. And every time that I'm teaching his methodology of him, I'm always saying, like, this is Franklin Diaz's methodology. I really recommend his classes. I'm just trying to translate a little bit his language to my students, to my followers, but I really recommend to everybody to take his classes. And why? What I believe about this guy, this is the guy that came to this world. Is the kind of people that born in earth once every 100 years. And he came to create inspiration. He came here to make us see in a perfect visual way that everything could be possible, that we can mix everything in a very nice way, because the way that he mixed Afro-Cuban with Afro-contemporary, with jazz, with ballet, with Mambo, with Boogaloo, with hip-hop a little bit, the way that he does it, it's very particular and unique, because he really makes this happen. You see? It's not like Afro, Mambo, or ballet, salsa. It makes sense.
So that's what you like the most, right, about him?
I love it, bro.
The salad, the amazing mixture of everything. So that what talks to you the most.
Yes, and also the fact that everything could be possible. Like he really, what he created in me is like he opened my mind. I was very into Mambo at that time. very, very into mambo, and I was dancing like this. And because my head was like that, the rest of my body was moving like that. And one of the great teachers that I have in my life, his name is Alexis Anetti. He's Cuban. He lives in Houston. He told me he's a poet. He say like, "Mijo lindo, there's not rigid body, just rigid minds." And I was like, and then he said like, "Our body is 75% water, so we're supposed to move like water." And I was like, "Damn, it's true." Right? So those thoughts changed my life. Plus the visualization of Franklin Diaz, the way to see those thoughts in Franklin Diaz.
And so the movement that comes from the core, the undulation, is to reflect that. That's the essence that you're trying to say.
Let's say, in my perspective, because of course he will have another perspective because he's the creator, right?
Yeah.
But in my perspective, it's like a different way to express your body instead of just keep thinking like to sectionate, just to do isolation, just to make divisions in your own body, which is not bad. But the way that he does it, he involves everything because it's the core involved in the hips, involved in the legs, and also the torso, because it's not just something about hips. It's something about core that it leads in the hips and the legs too. And also creating this connection, which is X, 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 like an X in your body. So
I think what's hard to understand once you see the visual and you're trying to mimic it is the energy in where is the energy. I'll give you an example. So let's say if I see your feet move, or I see your core move, or I see your hips move, I don't know how much pressure you're putting on the floor versus the amount of, like you said something in class that really kind of was important. You said it's not a contraction, and meaning that I was approaching it as a contraction because you mentioned before that it's not from the feet. So then you kind of squeeze the side when you're moving it, and you're saying, no, you have to be loose. And then I brought it back down a bit. So it's kind of difficult to understand once you see the motion, where is the pulse, is it grounded in the floor? Because then I see your legs lift at some point. Your legs are looser, they're like a slinky, So it's difficult to understand. And I saw him do that motion, and I want to commend you on one thing. Regardless of the style you're trying to communicate, I think you're breaking it down to a point where it's easier to understand. And from a teacher to teacher point of view, I think it's gold. Because I think it's gold because there's so much to say about geniuses. Well, what is it worth if it's not communicated and assimilated, and if it's not understood? If it remains at a genius level and you can't reach it, you're just like, okay, well, he's an amazing dancer, I get that, but there's such a big job of communicating it in the right way where people feel competent or getting competence. And I think you're doing an amazing job at that. And you're just the way when you started, you said, I have a video of my students at the beginning, and then I have at the end, we're making a video that's amazing. I saw the progress. Even if you're picky, you see the value of that kind of small progression. And not a lot of people do that. I think people say it, but it's hard to take something complex and to trickle it down where it's happening, where, we spent a good hour doing one single move, and my back was shot. But I always say, and I think it's not enough, because that's the base, right? If you don't understand the base, you can throw 10,000 moves, really fast moves, and you're like, oh, I'm really good, I can do it fast. But the core is wrong, my balance is wrong, I don't know what mistakes I'm making. And then when you're breaking down the way you do, I think it's quite amazing. And I do appreciate that, because that single move was trivial, because when I was trying it, I could not understand why it wasn't working. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying it, but it doesn't look the same, but you can't figure it out. Because there's different motions, different tempo, right? The hips slow down. They have to slow down perfectly. You can't slow them down too fast. And it's all that kind of technical stuff. And then you're like into serious body isolations. And I just wanted to say you did a great job taking something very out there and just bringing it back to the people. The people, that's what we need. I want to. I just a quick one. You mentioned Felipe Polanco, and that's. I just had a flash. I remember just seeing a video of him doing half turns in the head and the posture. And it just, that's one of my first souvenir of my beginning of salsa, just a video of him. And I thought, what a presence. He wasn't doing anything complicated, but he was, I want to be this guy. You know, you're like, I don't know what it is. I never took lessons from the guy. I saw him once in LA Congress. He was doing a weird basic step that I did not understand. What do you know about this guy? What was the...
Well, the basic step, it was more with clave. So his technique is developing more about the clave. So basically he does everything with clave. So instead of the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, he does pa, ta, ta, en, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, en. That's the way that he does the footwork, the basic, everything. It's with clave. He got famous because of that.
Have you ever met him?
Yes. It's really good friend of mine. That's awesome. We're not like best friends ever, but I took classes of him around 2006 in my first Congress in New York. I was following him too a lot. And then when I finally met him, I was like, bro, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a huge fan. And at that time, I was already Rodrigo Cortazar in Europe because he was living in Paris at that time. And he was like, oh, no, Rodrigo, the pleasure is all mine. It's so nice to meet you. And I was like, I wanted to cry, bro. At that time, I wanted to cry. And I was talking to him, and I was like, I have a lot of respect for you. I'm a huge fan of your technique, your dance, your presence, bro. You are amazing. You are amazing. Yeah,
you actually carry your shoulders the way he does, right? A little bit, the way. Sometimes like to the head, the shoulder. Yes, my friend. I'm mommy.
Like that. Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of his shows. He has amazing shows on YouTube, and he's really good teaching all these kind of things.
And it's
different.
Now, this question in two parts. First, do you think Congresses are going to be back soon? And if so, when? And if so, are you looking forward to change the pace you have now?
Well, first, no, I don't think Congress are coming back soon. We got already a second wave, and if we got a second wave, of course, there's going to be a third wave. Everybody here in Europe are talking about the third wave. We're just ready for that. We're just getting ready for that, and I'm really, really listening these people that we were following, the big gates and all this analytic that they were talking about for how long the situation is going to last. And we're getting ready for that. That's why we're very into this and social media, marketing, and internet. And then second, I think maybe in 2 years. Maybe in 2 years, we're going to start having like congresses. And this is going to happen. We're going to have maybe two options. All the artists and all the congresses lower the price, like maybe 50 or maybe 60% less than before, or there's going to be congresses with a small amount of people and just a few congresses per year, not a lot, because we are living a crisis, like an economic crisis in the whole world. And I remember I used to charge 2,200 euros per weekend. That means 2 shows and 2 workshops. Of course, no way I'm going to be charging the same. And when that happened, I'm going to be totally happy to come back to congresses, to come back to share this with people. And it's going to be better because now we're going to have more followers in the whole world. That's why we're working also hard for that. But I'm not going to be doing the same as before. And of course, I'm going to be traveling because I love to travel with my woman. I really, really love to travel with her. We have a lot of fun, and it's just so beautiful to travel with her. And especially we love to go to Italy, the food, the places. We just love to go there. And we just love to go anywhere. We have so much fun in the airports. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And And it's going to be nice to travel again, but we're not going to do it like before. Maybe just twice per month maximum, but no more than that. Because also we really love the life that we have now. like being home. And actually, we're thinking about to move to Estonia, to Tallinn,
Okay.
to be close to their family. It's gonna be cold. Like colder than Montreal, I think so, or the same. No, the same than Montreal. It's
Mm.
gonna be like living in Montreal. You know, when we went to Montreal together, she was like, "Oh my God, it looks a lot like Tallinn."
Hmm.
Because yes, yeah, Montreal has a lot of European influence, especially from there, from Tallinn, and it looks like. And
Wow.
she loved Montreal. She loved Montreal and Vancouver. She loved those two places from Canada.
That's beautiful. And I
Yeah,
wanted to finish off with rapid fire questions, which means
sure.
you just answer whatever comes to mind, just to keep it fun and people know a little more about you. Before I start,
Uh-huh.
I didn't touch on that subject, but I wanted to. Maybe we'll keep it for another podcast because it's a very long one. You are probably the guy that knows the most about the history of salsa. From everything that all the workshops I took from you throughout the years, every time I opened that book, there was so much stuff to digest. Now, let's say for the listeners that are just starting in or just doing it recreationally, let's say we'll play this game. Okay. So considering all your knowledge, I will ask you, and I'll start the watch. I'll give you 60 seconds to explain the origins of salsa. Are you ready?
Okay,
All right.
so before that,
Yeah.
well, no, before that,
Yeah. Yeah.
before
Yeah.
that, like I'm not considering myself the person, the most who knows about salsa history, but because I know and I ignore many other things. That's why I'm still learning.
Mm.
But I think, and I can say, I'm the person that can show it, or how can I explain this? That can show it the most in a more entertained way and more visual way and with more connection. That's what I do. I create connections and I show it with my body, and I basically I show the story, the whole show in the stage when I'm teaching it.
Mm.
That's what I do.
Well,
Yeah.
and
But
also
let's do it.
you add musicality also. That's what I like because I'm a musician
Yeah.
first, right? I
Yeah.
play music. You see my ding ding ding,
Yeah, I
and
saw
then
it.
so music was first, and then there was dancing. So whenever you talk music, I'm like, oh yeah, had to talk to me about all these rhythms and stuff like that. Are you ready? 30, 60 seconds. Time. Wait. Whoa, damn. Give me a second. Starts now. History of
Okay,
salsa.
around the year 500, 1500, the Spanish people came to Cuba, and also French people came to Haiti. So that was the first revolution in Haiti. So many people from France escaped to Cuba, and it was a lot of Spanish people there, and it was a lot of slaves from Africa. So that was a moment when they were creating this mix between Africa, Europe, and especially Spain and France. And then they were creating by the time many mixes, thanks to danza contra danza and waltz. And after danza contra danza waltz was danzón and son. And after that, it was the time of Mambo and cha-cha-cha. And after that, when they brought all this to Mexico and Cuba around the 40s and the 50s, it was different. It was more evolved. And then after that, they go Boogaloo, Pachanga. And after Boogaloo, Pachanga was the 60s and the 70s. It was Latin hustle too. And thanks to many dancers like editors and many musicians like Tito Puente, Tito Rodriguez, and the Machito, blah, 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 blah. And then the dance and the music were evolving a little bit more. And then thanks to Fanny Star, salsa evolved. And then we create salsa. That's it.
Hey! Smack dab on the button. Yes! Profesional. El profesor, el profesional.
Bro, it's the first time that I do something like this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Are you ready for the rapid fire? I got a bunch of questions here. Hey, ready? Okay. I have 10 questions for you. What excites you? What excites you?
Food.
What is your favorite curse word?
La verga.
What other profession would you like to attempt?
Well, what?
What other profession would you like to do?
Singer.
What you're not very good at?
Technology.
When you have been most satisfied in your life?
When I meet my beautiful girlfriend. Yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer. I have to say it.
What's your superpower?
Superpower. I can fly.
When people meet you or see you, what is something that people seem to misunderstand about you?
Wait, say it again. Say it again.
So let's say when people see you for the first time, what people seem to misunderstand about Rodrigo?
When people see me, what people seem to
They seem
misunderstand?
to misunderstand something they miss from you, or they think you're like this, but you're actually something different. What they misunderstand
Got
about
it,
you.
got it, got it,
Yeah.
got it, got it. Yeah, they think I'm an asshole.
When they meet you?
Yeah, they think I'm arrogant.
Jesus, I never thought that.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind.
Yeah, they do.
All
Bro,
right.
they do for real.
Wow.
They go, and then when they spend time with me, everybody, or they think I'm a gay. That happened a lot. Those two, bro, those two a lot. I have many experience about gay situations, and they are so funny. All of them are super funny. Yeah, they try to, they try to, how do you say it? They hunt me, bro. They hunt me.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
and I just laugh. At the end, I'm like, hey, bro, no, I have a girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, here we go. If you have,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would that be and why?
Oh my God. It would be James Brown. It would be now and this time.
No,
Definitely
doesn't matter.
Carlos Master Munoz.
Mhm.
Yeah, Carlos Master Munoz. I'll talk to you about that. And who else? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I would love to have Steve Jobs there.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to have those three people, because
sure.
all of them were dreamers and revolutionaries. And
You know,
I would love to.
There's something, sorry to interrupt, something Steve Jobs said that's quite amazing. He said, when you understand that everything is what's around you was made by another human, it's liberating. And I love that saying, to think that everything around you is made by another human. That means everything's possible.
Exactly.
That's cool.
No, bro, he has many, many phrases. Many. He was a dreamer. And he was like somebody who was acting, like I'm gonna do it. And I feel like a lot of empathy with that kind of thought, because everything what I've been doing until now, it was with that mentality. Like I'm gonna do it. I hate when people say no to me. I hate when they say, like, I know it's not possible. No. And my girlfriend is a perfect witness of that, because every time we go to a restaurant, and it's a simple example, but when I order something like, in this plate, you think it's possible to not put cheese and to put a little bit more rice? No, it's not possible. I'm like, how the fuck is not possible? It's just a fucking simple thing. Okay, yeah, I don't talk like that, and I just stand up and leave the place. That's what I do. Yeah, bro. Sometimes she's watching the time, and she's like, okay, maybe 5 seconds, and we left. And we leave.
That's your hot temper, the Latin hot temper, right? Here we go.
It is.
So another question: what would you pick for your last meal? Let's say you had just one last meal.
Damn it. Okay, can I have two options?
Go ahead.
Okay, 2 options. Yeah, perfect. Gnocchi and enchiladas. Oh, those two. I know they don't have anything to match each other, but those plates, like,
your mouth is salivating, huh? You have already saliva.
I know, enchiladas with green sauce, with frijoles.
Do you have access to that in the Canary Islands? Do you have access? Can you get the good enchiladas?
No,
where you live now?
No way we're gonna have good Mexican food in whole Europe. No way. Like Mexican food, honestly, I don't want to say that because I'm totally against of this thought, but good Mexican food just in Mexico. I say it. I'm sorry. I'm going.
And on a side of a street, right? So on the side of a street, like
yes,
something like on the street, like it's not official. It's like on the side, and then you stop, you get that, and you eat the best.
No, and the small village. That's the best one, bro. When they cook everything with fire, basically with fire, bro. When they make tortillas with the hand like this,
yeah.
That's the best food ever. The best food ever, bro. Yeah.
So let's say last question, if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
damn. Yeah, to be, fuck, I don't want to say this, to be closer to his family. That's what I say.
You miss them, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely what I say. To be closer to it. You know, in this life, I made a lot of sacrifices, and one of them was my family. Like I don't want to say I regret a lot, but yeah, a little bit. Like you don't see the real value of what family means until you are far away from them, and until there's no way to go back. Like I miss many great moments with them. I love them. I still close to them, but yeah, I would tell that to be closer to his family. That's what I would say.
Well, thanks for opening up and sharing that intimate part of you. You almost made me cry. I said, "Oh." No, thank you. I know how. Listen, I just to share one last thought. I traveled to Asia for a year and a half, and when I finished my education, I went there and I lived a year and a half, and completely, you know, in a place where nobody spoke English. You know, was just Mandarin spoken around me. And that's it's strange because exactly what you said, that's something that over there I understood how much it's important to be close to your family, or for me. And I understand that the lifestyle that you decide to choose, or the work that you decide to choose, automatically puts you away from your family. So that must be hard. Is your parents still living in Veracruz?
My mom is living in US, and my father is still in Veracruz. And one brother it's in Veracruz, and the other one it's in US.
Do you get the chance to visit?
I used to. I used to go 3 times per year to see them. But now with this, not very often. I mean, of course not. And also, I started having a lot of problems when I was making long trips. A lot of problems in my body. So I don't know when's gonna be the next time when I'm gonna have the opportunity to make a trip to see them. Yeah, because nowadays I'm very afraid to make those trips again. Like very, very afraid.
I believe you. Yeah. To finish off, how can people find you? How can people get in touch with you, follow classes with you? Can you drop
they can follow us in Facebook and also Instagram as Rodrigo y Asia, or just Rodrigo Asia?
In Facebook or Instagram?
Both.
Facebook Rodrigo.
Facebook Rodrigo Asia.
And Instagram Rodrigo Asia.online.
And Instagram Rodrigo Asia.online.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and, or also to our personal accounts. Also, they can ask us whatever they want to know about the classes and the packages that we have and the prices.
For those who are listening, if you had to pick an international teacher with a lot of knowledge, you have the stamp from Ilias. You must take classes with Rodrigo and Asia. I do. And I just love them, and I'll keep on following you. I'll have my little Monday reserved for you, 2 hours straight, and get a bit of training. It was very, very refreshing for me because I stopped taking classes also a little bit before COVID. But then when COVID hit, I stopped taking classes. I was then working on different projects. And like you said, that little feeling of going back to student mode is food for me as a teacher also. Because I see what you do, I see what you do well, and I try to say, okay, I like what he does there, and I try to do it also on my side, and it helps me to be inspired also when I teach, because we can very well be like tunnel vision and teach and teach and teach and teach, but then we become a bit demotivated or like an autopilot. And when I took the classes with you, it's just like you said, it opens up possibilities. It makes me work differently. And that I really, really do appreciate. But most of all, I know you're inspired by many people, but there's something about your energy that keeps that I connect with. It's the moment where you get excited about what's happening, even alone in your in your place where you teach, and I can feel that excitement of when you're dancing, like and then you get really, really hyped up with salsa, with the music and stuff like that. And this is what I love the most about. This is why probably salsa, let's say, chose me. It's that kind of like party mode explosion. And when you go there and it goes organically, so that you dance it sometimes, you go, it's just, I go like, man, I could feel it off the screen. It's like reaching me. I'm here in my city, in my basement with my little iPad, and you are completely from the other side of the world. And I can feel that moment where, wow, that's so cool, And I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for doing this. I know that it's a very, very, like I said, lonely experience. I don't want to see lonely in how should I say this? Like, you're not lonely because we're connecting, but you're still doing it in your house. We're missing the contact, the hugs, the handshakes, but your energy still comes through. And I want to thank you for that, because it's really like a little gift that I have every week now that I come and meet you. So thank you, Rodrigo. And I thank you for being so generous with your time. Thank you for sharing all these stories. Thank you for being so open about your family. And I want to thank your girlfriend for the amazing marketing job. I'm a marketing student. I love marketing, and you guys are very, very good at it. And long live to Rodrigo and Asia, and I hope to see you in flesh at some point in time. I wanted to do this podcast for quite a while, as you know. I'm glad that everything stopped and we could do this. And I wish everybody to find you as quickly as possible and get a couple of classes under the belt with you and Asia. All right. So
thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was such a big pleasure for me to be here with you, bro.
All right. So have a good one, and take care of you guys.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
You, bro. And I hope to see you soon too, and see you in the class.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Take care, Rodrigo. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.